That's right.
All right, welcome back to the Black Summit. I'm Brooks.
I'm Hendrix.
And today we have Brad Game. He's a familiar face. We've had him on a couple of times.
Yeah, so familiar you can't pronounce my last name correctly.
Game.
Shit.
You know what's funny? Whenever I call you on with Surrey or something, it says Game, I think.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
for
why
sure.
I say Game.
Oh, yeah, it's totally valid.
Same thing with our other friend. They say his name in a certain way, and I've been saying it's like I got hooked on that way of saying it. So it's
Oh, it's totally cool. Like whenever I write it in like my phone or on like a forum or something, I always just put game without the accent on it, just because sometimes things will get messed up. Like I'll get an email and it'll say like GAM ? Or something like that because it can't read the character.
Yeah.
So it's totally cool.
Word. Yeah. I call you Mr. Game.
For sure.
So
For sure.
Do you get foreign emails?
Foreign emails?
No, I'm serious because my name has an accent. Kanate. It's African.
Oh yeah, you do have the little thing, right?
Yeah. So I get. Here's your itinerary from Ethiopia Airlines. I get all kinds.
Oh, go not them.
Hey, if they want to hook you up with a flight,
I don't know about that last Boeing one. Might not end well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Which was years ago, but still,
Still,
had to make the
there's
connection.
been a lot of stuff going down with Boeing. I should have put that on the list.
I know. Save that for the next one.
That's the next one. We're gonna get into that.
And they're in our backyard, literally.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. By the way, the intro is made by you. The intro to this podcast. So, he's the man. He's the man.
The intro and the outro.
He's very talented. He's got many talents. So
thank you. It's not perfect, but I wanted to create like a little bit of a vibe for the pod,
It's on the chill vibe. That's what we like.
Did you see us use it with the logo, the new logo?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you did an outro too, correct?
It's all part of the same track.
Yeah, it's the same track. I just make it the outro.
Because I use the intro. I like the intro so much, so I bring it back to the
outro. He takes forever to turn it on and then bring it down.
No, I pull it in editing. He want to be all technical and fancy with it. I just pull it in the editing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can lay the track how I like, how the producers do it. We get a little Metro booming over here.
Yeah,
for sure.
Metro.
You don't like Metro.
I know.
Yeah.
Make some drums. All right, so let's get into the topics. All right, so we're going to be talking about a number of things today. Number one, we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs. The Timberwolves, pulled out a W last night. They didn't get swept. So we'll be getting into that. But we also know that, come on now, the Mavericks are going to make it to the finals. So, it's just a matter of time. But we'll see, maybe Ant can bring some kind of magic there, We'll be talking a little bit about Drake versus Kendrick. Snoop has finally spoken about that.
Nephew.
And also we'll be talking about some leaked Drake diss tracks. People have been talking about that, but it's all old stuff that people just keep bringing up. It's like, can we just put that to rest? Anyways, Team OVO over here.
It's Kendrick one.
Yeah.
K-Dot.
All right, and we're gonna hit on Diddy.
Hit on Diddy.
As you
pause.
Major pause.
Yeah, hopefully Diddy's not hitting on anyone else.
Yeah, for real.
Literally.
For real. So we'll be talking about him. There's a new charge, and we'll be looking at some of the businesses he's lost recently. Some of the deals that he had and stuff like that. So we'll be going into that, and then we'll be talking about Trump. Trump just actually had a moment where he compared himself to Mother Teresa, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So here we're going to talk about that. I got the clip. We're going to play the clip, but also we got to talk about Robert De Niro. Yesterday, Robert De Niro is working for the Biden campaign, and so they enlisted in his help. And yesterday he was at the Trump hearing, which is being deliberated on right now as we speak. So we'll be getting into that. But first, we want to talk about the NBA playoffs. Boston has made it to the finals, and
shocker.
I know, right? I did predict the sweep. And then the Timberwolves and the Mavericks are still going on, and the Timberwolves just avoided a sweep, and they will be playing. Is it tomorrow?
I think so.
I think it's tomorrow, but when you guys see this, it'll be today. So, there you go. So what are you guys' thoughts? Did you guys watch the game last night?
I did. Yeah, I watched most of it. Man, it's one of those things where it's like, why couldn't Minnesota play like that the entire series, you know?
I know.
You know, like that first quarter, they were just looking like dominant on defense, you know, which is their bread and butter. They were the number one defensive team in the league during the regular season. So, like...
Also, Ant went off in the first quarter. He scored 14 points in the first quarter?
Mm-hmm. So and he was clutch, too. He came through in the fourth. And Towns
That was a big shot. That was a big shot he hit. I thought they were going to give it away with the, the 4-point play to...
Oh, that was nuts, dude. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But they pulled it out, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably be one of those things where, like, I could see Dallas winning the next one. What is it called? Gentleman's sweep?
Yeah. Oh, is that what that's called?
Where it's like you win 3-0 and then they take the next one and then you win 4-1.
It's called the Gentleman's
sweep. And then when you lose the first one and then you win the next 4, that's called a douchebag sweep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang, I was today years old.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you didn't.
To be honest,
I got it from somewhere else.
I didn't predict the sweep with Indiana because the way they beat up on the Knicks, I thought they would give Boston a little bit more of a challenge. But I did not see Minnesota going this way. I thought I predicted Dallas to take the series, but I thought Minnesota at least had 2 games in. To me, I think Minnesota they played their heart out each time because most of the games they played they were leading. Defensively, they were raining threes and everything. Even though I still think that Dallas would take it, but I was like, man, this is what I predicted. Minnesota might get this first one, Dallas will get this second one, but Dallas always prevailed in the end. Just this time here, they just didn't. They weren't clutch this time. But you can't. I think you just can't stop Luka and Kyrie. That's a special brew right there.
It is.
That's a special brew. Even though I do like Anthony Edwards, and Townsend ran in threes, and who's the other guy? Gobert's good in the post. But that drop pass that that Dallas does, man, seems like they can't stop that. Even though don't like Minnesota, they hit more threes than Dallas hit. The thing I like about Dallas, they just don't only rely on threes too. They draw the fouls, like Duncan's pretty smart at that, So, but yeah, man, I'm excited about that series, even though it's 3-1. But still, even though if Minnesota, like you said, gentleman sweep, I think they didn't lay down though. So I still give Minnesota much props, much respect, man.
Yeah,
they
for
still
sure.
Play hard.
This is a great year for them. Great postseason. Really good step in the right direction. To me, it's one of those things where it's like Dallas is just they got the experience at this point, and I feel like in the playoffs, that's kind of what it comes down to a lot of the time. Even like in the last series, like Oklahoma City, they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, but Dallas just looked like the superior team, and it's not even like Oklahoma City is bad. Right. But, you got a guy like Luka who has been a winner ever since he was like a teenager, because, he was playing in Europe when he was a teenager. He was like the MVP of the EuroLeague. And then he just came into the NBA and started dominating.
That dude can ball, bro.
Yeah, he's been to the Western Conference Finals. Kyrie's won a championship, making big plays. Yeah. So that kind of stuff is like, it takes you a long way. But this is how teams like that are built, by getting those scars. People always talk about like how you got to lose before you really learn how to win.
Yeah.
So this is just it's a good step for Minnesota.
For sure, and I think it's a good step for a young star like Anthony. So I mean, I'm excited for them to see, you know, because that might become my favorite team. You know, not it can't surpass the Lakers, right? But I mean, like in terms of like teams that I root for, because I do. You know, the Lakers suck so bad, so you just got to root for other teams. You know, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan too, so you got to find surrogate teams. You know, so but yeah, Minnesota is definitely a team that like I want to root for and I want to see. You know, I like Dallas too. You know, I like Luka. I like Kyrie. I've always liked Kyrie, and so I'm excited for them, and I think they'll get it next time. You think? You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Who do you guys think will win Boston versus Minnesota?
Or you mean Boston versus Dallas?
Sorry. Boston versus Dallas.
If Dallas takes the next game or any of the preceding or following games,
they're gonna win. Come on.
Which they will. They will. No team has ever come back from 0-3 deficit.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like to me, I can see this being Boston's year.
Okay.
They got the easiest route to the championship. Every team they faced was hurt or inexperienced, Not to take anything away from them because they are a very good team. They're a very well constructed team.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum and Brown are really one of the best duos in the league. But I can see it. They fucked up in the finals against the Warriors years ago. They came out and they got sunned. They did. They definitely did. But I could see it. I could see him even if they go up against Dallas or Minnesota, which it's looking like it's going to be Dallas. Luka. If there's a guy that can beat Boston, it's Luka.
Really,
in my opinion, Luka has that dog in him for sure. You see it out there, when he's like screaming at the other team, after hitting big shots, he's got so many game winners at this point. Like this dude knows how to be clutch. He knows how to perform in the high pressure moments.
Yeah. And
he's got Kyrie, who's like one of the greatest
he's
co-stars, you know?
Yeah.
He's just like Luka. He's got so many clutch plays, He's performed in the playoffs. He's performed in Game 7 against the Warriors. So if there's any team that can do it, I would say it's Dallas. But I feel like I have a fear that it might be Boston's year.
Yeah.
You're leaning more towards Boston.
If I had to pick with my head, most likely. But I believe in Dallas. I believe in them.
Yeah.
I believe in Luka.
Yeah, that's right. I'm definitely rooting for Dallas. I ain't rooting for no Boston.
Fuck no.
We Lakers all the way,
Hell
dog.
No.
Come on.
Dang, so I guess we all three-sided. I'm rooting
That's
for
right.
I think Dallas, I'm pulling for Dallas too, man. Luka, to me, if you look, and this is not to sound raised, but Luka played like a brother. I bet Luka can dance. I bet, man.
I'm about to clip this.
Bro, nah, don't mute this.
No,
I look
clip.
at the way he crossed over and the way he played. That dude played like a brother, man.
Does
like,
Luka get an N-word pass?
No, he don't do that. But then, he's, what is he from? Croatia? What is he from? Not
I think
Croatia.
it is
Slovenia?
Slovenia,
that's
maybe.
Yeah. Fact check on that.
So no, he's not embedded to get an N-word, even though he's not from here, so he's still cool,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that dude got rhythm, man. He got rhythm.
Yes, he does.
And he got rhythm. Him and Kyrie, they are not afraid of nobody.
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
Slovenia.
Yeah.
There you go.
And and like you said, Boston with Tatum and was it Brown?
Yeah.
Those are a good duo, and then they got puzzle pieces with Holiday and Horford. But I think that they can match them, with their players. They get their players to step up because just like with Tatum and Brown, Luka and Kyrie, they can both put up 60-something points together, the same as them. You know what I mean? I think I can see it going to Game 7, but I'm kind of, and I get your point, but I'm kind of favoring towards Dallas more so than Boston. But it could go either way. But I think it'll go 7. I kind of want it to go 7. I kind of want it to go 7.
I mean, it would be amazing to see Kyrie beat Boston on their home floor for the chip.
When he played for Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be amazing. But either way, you know, it's going to be a good series for sure.
It's going to be a good series. Kyrie's my favorite player in the league. So
he's up there for me too.
Yeah, man. The handles.
So smooth. Oh my God.
Gosh,
did you see that game winner he had against Denver in the regular season?
This is
filth.
Guy, you can have two defenders here. He'll cut this way, and he can, within a drop, but he can turn back and go the opposite direction. And then two come there, and he'd go back and then cut back, go back, and then cut between you guys. And I was like, I saw some of the highlights of his dribbling and his drills and what he does, man. It's almost like he dribbling through an obstacle course, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that dude just phenomenal.
What do they say? He's got the ball on a string.
Yeah. It's like it becomes an extension of himself.
Yeah.
That dude is phenomenal with the rock, man.
What a perfect duo for Luka. What a perfect duo that is.
And nobody saw this coming.
Nobody could have seen this coming. Nobody did, man. Because Luka, like you said, they got experience, right? Minnesota, hats off to them. They're good, but, you know, they're a little younger. Of course, Gobert's been there for a little minute, right? Mm-hmm. But Luka needed help. He needed help. And Mark Cuban did the right thing and got Kyrie Irving to help Luka. And you can see he hooping, putting up big numbers, but you killing yourself, you overexerting yourself, and the rest of the team ain't stepping up, you know. And they do that, that drop pass that they do, where they go in the paint, they drop it, and them boys snatch it and yoke it. They can't stop that, man. They just can't stop it, man. But
it's true.
Yeah, they can't stop it.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think Boston's gonna win, but you know, I'm going for the Mavericks. We ain't playing with that Boston.
I'm gonna keep the faith. Dallas.
And let's give Boston some credit. They are a good team. Like
they're
I said,
a great team.
You know, they are very talented, and I think once they face real competition, they can show how good they actually are at this point. I think I saw they won like 70 games already this year, playoffs combined.
Yeah, they're very good.
And 72. They have that dog in them though.
I think they got
They're a little soft.
I think they got, and I'm gonna be biased now. When
Kyrie
played for Boston, I was rooting for Boston because I like Kyrie. So
yeah. All right, moving on to the next story. We're gonna get into Kendrick and Drake. Kendrick has been cleaning up in the streams, and I actually have a video with DJ Academics, and then we'll talk after that.
Because Kendrick's streams has gone all the way up and he's done so much, I heard that his album is pushed back slightly. I heard his album would have been here for in the next like 2-3 weeks. That's what I'm hearing. I heard that Kendrick would have been dropped his album. If this battle did not happen, his album would have came. However, everything has changed. Number one, a lot of people are giving him so much positive press and reinforcement after this battle. Number two, the streams from the 3 diss songs that he has up, right? Think about this. The streams from only the 3 diss songs he has up on Drake that are on DSPs, they have done so much streams, it's equivalent to 2 albums. Not Kendrick albums, but 2 regular albums from a lit artist. So essentially, if we're thinking about artists who work for a company, even though he works for himself, allegedly with PG Lang, but they have distribution deals and whatever the case is, if you have to check the box of maybe, you know, you wanted to get, I don't know, let's say 500 million streams, right? Like that was the goal. Like you needed to drop your album and get 500 million or 1 billion streams. Well, those 3 diss songs got those streams that your album was supposed to get. So now with that...
the streaming for Kendrick has been next level. Songs like Not Like Us and some of the other diss tracks that he had, which, you know, my favorite is 616 because, you know, he's not doing anything weird in the song like Not Like Us. Anyways, that's an OVO talking. But also Snoop Dogg finally chimed in, and I'm going to read his comments on the whole rap beef. Snoop Dogg thanks nephews Drake and Kendrick Lamar for raising the bar with their rap beef.
I love that term, real quick. Nephews.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I really like the diss track that Drake put out with his voice on there. Because he's like, he starts off going, nephew. Tailor-made. But yeah, so he said, well, the only thing I want to say about that whole scenario is that I want to give both of them a shout out for rising the bar as far as lyrics, as far as the song making and writing. The rapper told the outlet, because the writing has been upped since the confrontation, or whatever you call it, whatever they went through. Those are my nephews, he added. I'm not in the middle of it. I support both of them, and that's personal business, not my business. All right, and I'm going to scroll down here. As far as what they did for the industry and the rap game, they made you rap again. He told E.T., you can't mumble your way and gimmick your way to a song no more, buddy. So that's what he said. And he said, thank you kindly. All right. So that's what Snoop had to say about the whole rap beef. Yeah. Brad, we never really asked you what you thought about the whole rap beef, who you thought won, and what's your thoughts?
Well, I don't really have too much of a dog in this fight. I will say, just from the bits that I've heard, you know, I don't know. It's kind of hard for Drake to respond to some of these, let's just say, claims, you know.
Yeah.
But I think they both did a great job holding their own. And I really like Snoop's comments. He's kind of coming at it from like a old head perspective, as someone who's been a part of the game for way longer than these guys have. He's seen it all, you know. I'm sure we all know that. And I like that he's shown respect. And it's true, you know, competition, you know, is what we need to fuel each other, you know. And that's kind of what Drake and Kendrick are doing. They're seeing each other like put these tracks out, and they're trying to top each other. And, you know, that's what, you know, being an artist is about, being a competitor. You know, you want to try and be the best, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I like that. I like that he's showing respect. And honestly, it's kind of funny, you know, that they're putting all these tracks out, because it feels like it's almost like hatred will fuel you more than anything else, like any other positive like feeling or emotion. It's like hatred is just so powerful that it can make you up your game to the next level, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of to relate it back to the NBA, you know?
Yeah.
It's like seeing Luka and Kyrie out there dominating. It's like, I know Kyrie wants to beat Boston.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's no love lost there, you know?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
You're right.
I feel like I'm rambling a bit, but...
No. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
I don't, like I said, I don't really have too much of a dog in this fight, but I like to see two competitors, you know, trying to beat each other.
Yes.
Pause.
Major pause. What do you think about Snoop's comments?
I think Snoop, the same thing I said, is good for hip hop. Pretty, you know, bar none. It's good for hip hop.
Yeah.
That competitive nature caused everybody to up their game.
Yeah.
They had, even though they got very personal, a bit chippy on wax, you know, the lyricism, the level went sky high. You know, everybody know that K-Dot won, you know. The song is streaming crazy. I even heard, I think it was South Africa, I saw a video. They were going crazy. And they were in the club chanting, they not like us. They not like us. So, you know, but hats off to both of them, man. You know, Drake is still out here in these streets, OVO. So I think it was good for hip hop, man. You know, the way I look at it.
Yeah, speaking of Drake being in the streets, they actually... 21 Savage actually brought him out on stage at his performance. I think he was up in Toronto, so he brought Drake out there, and Drake actually came out there.
Yeah.
Word.
People were saying Drake is kind of a workaholic, because he said he was going to take some time off, and he's already back. You know,
who's to say Drake might probably felt like he won?
Yeah. Did you guys hear him rapping over the BBL Drizzy?
No.
I didn't.
He like took the song and started rapping over it. Yeah. Him and Sexy Red, they had a song.
Oh yeah.
And he just rapped over it.
I think that was smart, you know.
Yeah.
You know, to use it. Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Snoop on this, you know, like I think it was good for hip hop. Hip hop needed this. Again, hip hop was losing their top, and they got the battle that we needed. We got to see that battle. At least we didn't go without seeing it, because I feel like, you know, especially with like pop culture, a lot of times we don't really get to see the best go up against each other. And so the fact that we got to see that, I mean, that was great. I mean, thinking back on that weekend, that was a great weekend, because it was like, oh man, okay, Kendrick just dropped. Is Drake gonna say something? And then Drake drops, and then Kendrick's like, you know. So it was a great weekend for like music. I know I was excited about it.
Yeah, everyone wins.
Yeah. So it was a great time, and you know, one for the history books.
Yep.
And to add real quick, I like that we got comments from an old head like Snoop, that are positive. You know, because I feel like so often, to relate it back to the NBA again, it's so often that these people who are retired or past their prime, like, they're going to come out and just talk bad about the people that are still going. They're still trying to do their best to keep it alive, you know?
Onk talk, that's what they call it.
Onk talk, yeah, there you go. That's exactly what it is. You know, so it's good to show someone who is coming out trying to support rap, support the industry, support other artists, you know, even if it is something like, you know, I mean, this is all pretty petty, you know.
Yeah.
But still, they're putting out fire tracks, and, you know, that's what matters. This is a music industry. It's all about putting music out.
Exactly. And it could have been easy for Snoop to come at Drake, because, you know, him and Kendrick are West Coast, you know, so he could have straight up like tore into Drake, but he was just like, yo, shout out to both of them. So, you know, that was cool.
Yeah.
All right. So there is some talk about these reference tracks that are coming out. There was one for, I think it's called Happy Day or something like that. I don't even know what that song is. People are getting up in arms about this, but the big one was Mob Ties. And if you guys have a chance to go and listen to that, we can't play it here.
And these are old tracks?
These are old tracks that people are talking about, and they're talking about these reference tracks. And so the whole thing of like Drake having ghostwriters is coming up again. And I know a lot of people are like going at him about these ghostwriters and all of this stuff. What do you think about this?
As far as ghostwriting? I think it's no. I mean, if he has help writing some songs, I think it's no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's fine. Everybody has someone help them with the hook, or help them structure the bars, or whatever. So, or, you know, they may say, "Hey, man, no, say it like this, or say this line, or put this line first, or flip this and say it like that." You know, I think that's cool. You know,
even the old heads had it.
Yeah. I mean, even Snoop admit that Jay-Z came in and wrote some big songs for him and Dre.
Yeah.
When he didn't have anything, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So they just let Jay do his thing.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I feel like if you're coming after Drake about this stuff, which Drake, by the way, he says that, yeah, he does have some writers, but most of his hits, you know, he writes himself. And so, and if you listen to that reference track, you know, it's really just like a hook and the bridge. It's not really like he was rapping what Drake was rapping. You know, it's just like it's only actually 1 minute and 50 seconds. The song is like 3 minutes, I think, or whatever. But a lot of people were talking about that because, you know, Mob Ties was kind of a hit, you know, but I mean, when I listen to Drake, I'm not like, turn on that Mob Ties, you know what I mean? So, I mean,
I don't know if I heard it.
Most of these songs, if I played it for you guys, you would
probably know
it. But, you know, it is what it is. I know a lot of people say that stuff, but I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
No, I mean, just like when you and I were talking about this the other day, we kind of compared it to PEDs in baseball. You know, I feel like I'm not a part of the industry, like the music industry, but from what I understand, it's like, you know, this is kind of like a not so secret sort of thing. You know, a lot of artists do the same thing. Not saying it's okay, but like that's kind of just how it is from what I understand, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna come at him, I feel like you got to come at everybody.
It's just frowned upon in hip hop, but not in R&B or any other type of genre of music.
And Drake is more than just a hip hop guy, and that's That to me is like
somebody might have wrote his balance. He might have wrote the rhymes, but they might have wrote the balance. I mean, I don't know.
So, but by the way, Drake has written for so many different artists. He's written for Kanye. There's a tape of Kanye actually saying, "I wish Drake could write everything for me." He talks about like trying to get Drake to come in and write for him because he's so great at writing.
So Kanye probably just want to focus on beats.
If you listen to Rick Ross talks about how much music him and Drake haven't put out that they've done together and how like he helps him write. Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, he's written hits for everybody, a bunch of people. Beyonce, yeah, I just said that. Okay, but all those people he wrote songs for. So, you know, anyways, let me say this, shoot or shoot. And what I like about Drake, he doesn't always come out with bangers, okay? But that's because he's shooting a bunch. You know, like Kendrick, okay, you can come out, you can make a great album every 5-10 years. But, you know, you're not out here shooting like, you know, Drake is shooting. And Drake is shooting a lot. Like I said, if you take every hit from his last few albums and you made it one album, it would be a fire album, you know? But like, he doesn't do that. He's always shooting. He just came out with that Sorry song with Sexy Red. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I mean, he's shooting. He doesn't stop shooting. And I mean, like, sometimes you're going to miss when you shoot. Okay.
A lot of times you're going to miss.
And if you're just waiting around to, you know, come out with the best thing in the world, of course you're going to make it sound good because you're waiting around.
Don't you think? Yeah, quantity. I was going to say it's like a quality over quantity sort of thing, you know? Don't you think it's more meaningful when someone comes out with an album every 3 to 4 years and it's fire?
As
opposed to putting out an album like every year and like there's like 20 tracks on it and some of them are kind of and some are good, you know.
You know, I think sometimes it is good, but when it comes to music, I feel like, you know, the genre of music right now, the way that it is, people want to hear from their favorite artists, and sometimes, you know, I think it's good to put out a song or two here and not have everything be so perfect and pristine. And, you know, which, by the way, I mean, when Kendrick puts out his albums, it's not like he doesn't have some duds on there. Mm-hmm. Like, can we stop the glazing? Like, can we stop the, like, acting like he's, like, the greatest of all time and, like, you know, like, he doesn't put out some songs that suck.
You just hate Kendrick.
No, I like Kendrick. I could, you know. Anyways, we could go into it.
And he's a West Coast guy.
We got a show to run.
Oh Lord, yeah. Now you want to change subjects.
Shoot or shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot or shoot.
That's true.
You know? All right. So next we're gonna talk about Diddy. All right. So Diddy, there's another case against him. The latest charge against him, and basically the victim alleges that he assaulted her between 1995 and the 2000s, and kind of the same stuff that Cassie was kind of going over and detailed. And they are now looking at Diddy for a federal case. You know, the federal government's starting to get into it, and it looks like there could be a RICO charge on the horizon. And after this latest charge, I'll talk a little bit about some of the businesses that Diddy has lost, but initial thoughts on that.
I mean, it's shocking. It's extremely shocking. I feel like, I mean, in hindsight now, like, it might be a little different, but it kind of seems like it came out of nowhere almost. Like, all of this really.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess that's how it is. People in power, you know, they can sweep things under the rug and keep things hidden. But all it takes is one person to open the floodgates, you know. And, I mean, all you got to do to know what you need to know about this scenario with Diddy is look at that video, you know. Yeah. So I don't really have too much to add. But, like, it's shocking. And, you know, I hope everyone who was a victim finds their peace and gets the help that they need. And, you know, it's sad. It's sad to see. It's sad to see that it has gone this far. Like, we're talking about, like, federal charges and trafficking and stuff like that. Like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Him getting raided and stuff.
Oh, my God. And then didn't he, like, post on Instagram recently, like, a picture with his daughter or something to try and, like, like try and make it seem like everything was fine, you know, something like that.
Yeah, his PR team, they ain't been doing a good job letting him release that video, the apology video, and now this, you know, it's just like, come on, my man.
Yeah, but what can they really do? I feel like there's no bouncing back from this.
Lose right now for him.
You should have went into details about her case. Did you have any details? I think I heard briefly about it. She said that I think she was trying to be a model or something like that, and he's saying that you know, he could help her career. And I heard that's alleged that she made her perform fellatio in the parking lot on him, and then she would call. She tried to get away from you. Would call her and threaten her and things like that. All these are alleged, right? You know, once again, it's unfortunate, but you know, what I'm curious about is, doesn't that debunk the myth of him being part of the feds if the feds investigating him?
I think so. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I agree
so
with
therefore he can't be considered informant for the feds if they're investigating him, or what? What you think?
Maybe he was a Fed a while back. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he's not really now. You know.
So you think he's the king snitch?
I don't know.
Well, if he was in the feds, who was he informing on?
I mean, I don't know. Listen, that's why they said he has a ton of, you know, tapes inside of a ton of cameras inside of his house. And so he would have these big extravagant parties and invite all these people over, and then he has, you know, dirt on them basically. And so I mean, I don't know what he was informing them on and whatnot, but you know,
is that alleged too?
What, the cameras?
He has the cameras. Tapes.
He has the tapes. Well, I think some of it is, but I mean, if you have that many cameras, they saw the cameras in his house. Because
you know, apparently they're saying that's what the raid was about, getting all that, getting that stuff, gathering all those, you know, the tapes or whatever he had on people, so he wouldn't be able to blackmail nobody or something. That's what they're saying. That's what the raid was supposedly been about, you know? Yeah. It's
just that was all alleged. The whole thing with because I think Candace Owens was saying that, but also you know, there was that video of Kanye kind of saying, "You effing Fed," you know, he was on something and he was saying that. So, you know, I don't know. Well, you know, he is getting investigated, so I don't think being a part of the feds, you know, excludes you.
It shouldn't. So, that means nobody's above the law, but you know.
So, yeah, I mean, he's lost a lot of business off of all of these allegations that are happening. And the latest one was eyeglasses and contacts. Apparently he had some deal where he was doing that. He also lost Peloton. And
I saw that. That was funny.
Yeah, he lost Empower Global.
What is
which I think that's like something with the Rolling Stones, where he was helping out like black-owned businesses and stuff like that. And then he had a Hulu reality TV show that he was supposed to be doing with his family. And then Revolt TV, he had to step down as the chairman of Revolt. So I mean, he's lost a lot of things.
And of course, Ciroc.
I mean, he lost. Yeah, I don't know about that.
He just had a deal, I think like a marketing deal or something like that.
I do remember him like coming out with Ciroc.
He didn't own it. People thought he owned it. He never owned it. He just had like a marketing brand deal or something like that. With
Man, the documentary about this story is going to be crazy.
Oh,
whenever that comes out.
There's one on
day one.
There's TMZ did one. There's one actually on Tubi right now.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I didn't watch it, but I saw that come up.
Yeah. And then of course 50 Cent got the deal with Netflix to put out a series, and he said something. You know, 50 is a troll. He said if more girls come out, they got to pay me to do more episodes. So I'm like, so I don't know what the deal is between those two. Why he goes at Diddy like that?
I don't know. We'll see. Documentary day one. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
on my couch
with popcorn.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Lastly, we'll be talking about Trump versus Biden, but first we want to talk about De Niro. So apparently De Niro is now working for the Biden campaign, and Trump, as you guys know, has had this trial going on with Stormy Daniels. They're trying to figure out whether he paid money in order to hush her up. And so they're currently deliberating on that. And I'll look up and see if there's any new news on that before we end. But basically, De Niro went out and started, giving a speech out front of the courthouse. And it did not go well, okay? There's a lot of hecklers out there. We know how the MAGA people can be. So they got a little rowdy. And I thought, it was a very disrespectful to a GOAT, But we'll get into...
Two of the officers from January 6th.
Yeah, that too.
Were present also.
That too. Yeah, so I do want to play this clip. It is noisy. There's stuff behind him. So yeah, here's De Niro.
On January 6th, while Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump, in the White House, and Trump-inspired insurrectionists stormed the Capitol, brave men and women from law enforcement put their lives on the line to defend this country. Our democracy. They are the true heroes. These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath. Right. Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors behind you.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. You gotta, I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you. They stood there, they didn't have to. And there were other ones in there who probably were in with them a little bit too, and they found a way to get around. Not these guys. They stood there and fought. For us, for you. For you.
Well, they weren't fighting for me.
No, they fought for you, buddy. You're able to stand right here now. They are the true heroes. I'm honored to be with these two heroes today, from former Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn and former Metropolitan Police Officer Michael Fanone.
All right, so that was... First of all, what's happening with the car in the background?
I don't know. That's in New York,
That's New York, right?
That's New York,
bro.
yeah.
That's the most New York thing ever.
Really?
Like,
Okay.
just the symphony of horns
Just
going
blowing.
on.
I'm like, God.
It's like, dang.
Man.
In the middle of the press conference.
Yeah, they really captured New York very well with that video. De Niro's up
Especially
there
with
going
the,
on.
Yeah, with the confrontation.
At least you can hear his audio pretty good, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Him joining the campaign?
How can we... Listen, I'm not trying to make light of, actual January 6th events.
Right,
Obviously that was very, very terrible what happened. But, how can we take any of this seriously?
Yes,
bro, we're just getting famous actors to be spokesmen for our presidential campaigns to decide the leader of the free world. And listen, I love Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is one of the GOATs, but how can we take that seriously? like standing outside the courthouse, just heckling at a bystander or whatever,
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's funny, All of this is so theatrical. It's humorous, I just don't understand how this is where we're at with American politics.
Yeah.
It's entertaining for a viewer, but it's also kind of scary at the same time,
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I guess, man, the way the Dems looking at it is, if Trump is the celebrity, was the former celebrity in chief, so let's get a celebrity, And I know De Niro, he hates Trump. He can't stand him because I remember he voiced his opinion when Trump was first running for office, and I think he said something. I don't know. if someone can find it, I think he said something along the lines of he could punch him in the face or something like that. He might have said, you know, but even his speech does sound theatrical. But the funniest part to me is when the guy's saying, "You're standing with those two traitors behind." He's like, "What?" I don't even know what to say. That was funny because and that moment I felt De Niro's pain. Like, dude, Trump supporters are so delusional about anything truthful or fake. He's like, I don't even know how to address you right now. What are you talking about? Yeah, they fought for you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't fight for me. They didn't fight for me, you know?
Yeah.
These people got hurt, mobbed, maimed for storming, and they were trying to defend the Capitol. They're trying to stop democracy, you know, so I felt De Niro's, you know, what he was saying to that. Like, people are just so... It's we laughing, but it's really not funny. It's really not funny. Because this is how people really, really thinking. And you don't want people not based in truth to run your democracy, because we will never get nowhere fast. You really don't want that. And you want to be a realist, not a conspiracist, you know. And a lot of them are based in conspiracy, you know. And whatever rhetoric is spewed, they run with it, you know. And that man. Oh my God! If you see some of the stuff I see, and I laugh. I remember the man. Real quick.
Okay.
Who's the two comedians that go around to all the Republican stuff?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They interviewed this one guy, right? They're talking about COVID. So the dude's like, you know, far as the mask and the vaccine, and he's like, so yeah, you know, and they shut everything down. He said, well, and the guy's like, so they had to shut everything down because of the pandemic. Yeah, I don't think it was right. Some people could have worked, and I lost a lot of business. He said, so a lot of business shut down. He's like, yeah, they had to shut down. And he's like, they shouldn't have shut down. He said, so who you work? He said, yeah, a lot of clients. And he's like, so who do you work for? He said, you know, I'm self-employed. He's oh, so you fired yourself. You know, I'm just like, come on, man. See what I'm saying? We're laughing, but really it's not funny, man, the way these people think, man. And you do not want people like that running the country, man.
I feel you.
Because you're playing with people's lives at stake.
Yeah, this is real life.
This is real life, man.
I think this is another, I don't know, just another gaffe. That's the only word I can think of for the Biden campaign. I mean, like, I don't understand, you know, who's advising them on some of the things that they're doing. It's just like, it's all time bad. And, you know, the only reason why they're even in this discussion is because, you know, Biden was the only one to beat Trump.
Yeah.
And so they have to keep parading him out there. They have to keep on with this, you know, this stuff, these theatrics, as you put it, you know, with De Niro and some of these other people that they've had come on. They've been inviting a lot of like influencers to the White House. It just comes off very corny and cheesy. And it's just like, what are we doing, guys? You know, and, you know, obviously they're trying to like buy votes and whatnot.
Of course.
But, you know, I think that, you know, can we just stop it with that? I mean, why is De Niro going to, you know, this press conference outside of the Stormy Daniels?
Because it's Trump.
I mean, like, at least send him to one of the other ones, not this one with the porn star and the whatever's going on with this situation.
He's like calling him a loser and stuff
like
that.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? Like, what is going on?
Trump is like to blame for that a good bit, because he also goes in every
he does
rally or whatever, every conference, and he's calling people losers. Way worse, you know. But that doesn't make it cool for politicians or like respected actors who are trying to vouch for these politicians and stuff. Like, what are we doing here? This is like third grade stuff.
I think it's like that. It's because it is Trump. And because Trump come from a celebrity, you know, with The Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
And at one time, rappers used to have Trump in their lyrics. I want to get rich like Trump and be like Trump. And, you know, Russell Simmons and Rev Run, Rick Ross, they had, you know, they was reading this, but the Art of the Deal and things. So one time he was cool. He he went to Diddy parties too. So he hung with rappers in New York because he's a New Yorker at by heart. But I think it's because it's him. You got to stoop to these type of tactics to combat him. If you had another respectable politician who is an actual politician who dealt in facts and sucked to politics, then you wouldn't need these type of tactics to combat him. Let's be honest, Democrats, I mean, they kind of suck. So what they gonna do? They got to pull rabbits out of hat now. It's almost like you fighting fire with fire. Okay, he has this base, he's famous. Let's see who we can get to help our base. That's just what it results to.
And clearly people respond to that kind of talk. Like how there's so many Trump supporters out there. I mean, he won the election.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, say what you will about all the conspiracies and stuff, but it wasn't, looking back on it now, you can see how it would get to that point.
You're saying Biden won the election, right?
Oh, no, I'm talking about
when Trump did win.
The first one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we can see how it got to that point.
Yeah.
Clearly the way he speaks, the way he comes at people,
not like
it strikes a chord.
Exactly.
He's not a traditional politician.
Right.
Yeah.
He has a spine. He has a backbone. This, me speaking for, this is what people see in him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I will say I'm not a Trump supporter, but that I do admire. I do admire that fact of saying one thing I will say about Trump. If you out of pocket in his camp in his cabinet, he will call you out. And Dems need to do that same thing. They need to do that same thing with that spine and that backbone.
The Democrats need to switch everything up because, I don't know. The fact that like Trump is even leading in some of these polls.
That's still crazy.
In 5 of the battleground states.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's a disgrace I wouldn't want that like on the record,
I would say it's a disgrace on both ends too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because there's no other candidate on the Republican side that can even measure up to him.
How do we get to this point, y'all? How do we get to this point where these are the two jokers that we have coming out and fighting for us, and we have to choose between them? And it's like, man,
it's crazy.
For the first time in my life, I actually am debating not to vote. And like, I remember as a kid growing up, like, that was one of the things I looked forward to was being able to exercise my right to vote, and like now I'm just like, bro, both of these candidates suck. Like, I don't even want to like put my vote out there. Like they don't really speak for me, both of these candidates. And so, but everybody's trying to pick a side. I saw that Dennis Quaid, speaking of actors and celebrity, he came out and said that he's going to vote for Trump.
And both sides have actors coming out to support.
I know, right? It's just like, man, how do we get to this point where we have to like choose between these two people, man?
That's
ridiculous. So
it's a circus. It's a circus.
And then there's a debate coming up, and that debate. I mean, I think it's kind of funny because a lot of conservatives, when you talk to them, they think that like Trump's going to come out and whoop Biden.
Of course.
And I'm looking at, at them, and I understand where they're coming from. But like Biden was just as frail as he was back then when they've, had their debates. And Biden whooped Trump. Trump came out and he was hot on the mic on the last one that they had. And he was just like going crazy and, doing all kinds of weird things. And that was when he had his famous speech of like, he was talking to the Proud Brothers. He was like, stand back and stand down. And it was just like, so like, what in the world?
Try to get him to
it's just like
supremacy.
No matter what you do, Trump, I don't think he can win these debates because he can't control himself enough to not do stupid stuff and say something dumb and do something dumb, and so I personally think that like Biden would smoke him still, even if Biden can't remember some things and he has a lot of gaffes and different things that he does. I just don't see him losing to Trump, when it comes to these debates, which, we're supposed to get one in June.
Yeah, Biden going to stick more to the policies. Trump don't know all the policies. He's currently not in office right now to even be briefed on, he's a civilian, He knows something, but his tactics that's what he does, to rile his base, say certain things and do speeches with cuss words and get that son of a bitch off the field and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what he adheres to. That's you know, that's his thing, you know. So Biden is going to stick to, and then what he's going to probably try to do is get under his skin to get Biden out of character, to get into a pissing contest. But Biden shouldn't do that. Just stick to the policies.
Exactly.
And then when he defers, say, look, he don't even know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Look at his people. They don't know what they, you know, that's what I would stick to.
Yeah. All he has to do is show a little bit of competence, Biden, and like he'll win. Because
all you gotta do is not fall asleep. That's
yeah, exactly.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I mean, to go back to the theater aspect of all of this, I read that there's not going to be an audience at the debate.
I saw that. I saw that.
And I feel like half the time at these debates, it's just people trying to get the crowd riled up and
pretty
like
much
cheering
that's
for them
exactly
and stuff,
what it is.
you know? And especially Trump, you know, he's the guy known for making whole arenas of people like scream and like cheer for him every time he says something. So I don't know. I guess he's going to have to show up to play, you know? He's been in the news for a lot of wrong reasons recently.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to tune into that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think
we should have a watch party?
Like, do you think it's a good thing that they don't have an audience, or they should have an audience?
Very good thing, in my opinion. Because, like, everyone, especially during the Republican debates, when, you know, we watched it, you know, months ago, and it's just people trying to clap back at each other, people trying to burn each other, stuff like that. Like, it's ridiculous, but, like...
You might be on to something, man, because it's like you have the left and you have conservatives, and then you have Trump supporters. You get a bunch of them, and they kind of unruly. You know what I mean? They kind of unruly. There's no telling if they get in there.
Unhinged.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, my brother. Unhinged, uncouth. You get some. There's no telling what they might do, man. You might come out and see a cross burning.
Oh, damn.
in front of the building, you know. Like Dave Chappelle said, when he went to go vote, he said, when I get to the parking lot, I can tell who they were voting for. When I saw those tractors and those trucks on those big tires, I knew who they were voting for. I knew they.
No mistaking that.
Yeah, no mistaking.
All right, so we're going to listen to Trump.
I would say, in listening to the charges from the judge, who's, as you know, very conflicted and corrupt, because of the confliction, very, very corrupt. Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess between the borders and fake elections, and you have a trial like this where the judge is so conflicted he can't breathe. He's got to do his job. And it's not for me, that I can tell you. It's a disgrace. And I mean that. Mother Teresa could not beat those charges, but we'll see. We'll see how we do. It's a very disgraceful situation. Every single legal scholar and expert said this is no case. It shouldn't be brought. And it certainly could have been brought 7 years ago.
All right. So those were his comments. Quickly, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
He may not know too much on policy, but he damn sure knows propaganda. So I give him that.
He can definitely make a good headline.
Yes, he does.
Mother Teresa. That's all you're going to see now for the next couple of days. Mother Teresa. The reporter actually asked him. She was like, so are you comparing yourself to Mother Teresa? And he just kept walking. He didn't say anything. So, yeah. Anyways.
It's funny. It's funny. Trump is a funny guy. Not for all the right reasons, but,
yeah,
you know, he knows how to make a headline.
Definitely in it.
For sure. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the Black Summit.
That's a wrap.
Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks to Brad for coming out.
Thanks for having me back, guys. It's been fun.
What's his last name? Say it right.
Gamay.
There you go.
Saw how I put a little Gamay in there. You know,
Dang,
just
you need to tell him to pause.
No Diddy.
he rolled his
Get all
eye.
close to the mic like this.
Yeah, that's right.
He even rolled his Gamay. He rolled his eye. It sounds like a body scrub or something. Damn.
All right, we out.
We
Peace.
out.